I wrote something about this fact that people will riot in their hearts before they ever get into the streets. We have had things happen here with police and other things. I mean, access to justice, access to quality education. There are a lot of issues in Louisville. They resemble, they're similar to issues across the country in urban areas. But what was different about Louisville, and what has been different, is that Louisville released a redlining report. And so Louisville understands its history. Louisville knows what has been done and what needs to be done. What we haven't had are people who are truly willing to invest significantly in the change that needs to happen in the West End and in other parts of the community for people whose backs have been broken by some of the policies we've had. I mean, that is just the truth of the matter. We get used to certain black leadership that make us feel comfortable. And we choose people that make us feel comfortable about who we are and where we are. And by us, I mean people with power and privilege. That is not the kind of leader you need. You need somebody who is going to tell the truth, and that person is going to make you uncomfortable. They are going to say things on some days that you don't understand, but you need to pay attention because we're in crisis mode right now, and quite frankly, the black community has been for a long time. This city better not do another report, another study. There's not another task force needed. We have all the information we need. We just need to prepare to direct some resources.
Let's just say you're in charge of the city, you're in charge of the purse strings. Give me the top things you would do immediately.
I would fire the police officers that killed Breonna Taylor. And then I would have them indicted. The mayor's not in charge of that, but you didn't make me the mayor. You said I'm in charge. So that's the first thing I would do, because I think that the bad officers are putting the good ones at risk. I'm a lawyer. I've looked at that affidavit. It's not a good warrant. There are complications there. That officer put his colleagues at risk, and somebody's dead because of it. I would get the developers in this community to all agree that within 18 months we're going to rehab or knock down and rebuild every vacant property in the West End. And for each of those properties, I would create a pathway to ownership. So a lot of people may not be in a position to own right now. I would put them in a lease to own so that people have an investment in the community. But like education, right now, these kids, what are they doing? Every JCPS student should have technology. We need a 1-to-1 ratio, and then we need partnerships with these technology companies to offer TA. If a mom is up at 1 in the morning, she should not be talking to the president of the Louisville Urban League about technology, because I got somebody I need to call. She needs to have someone who's on call to help her, and it does need to be at 1, because that's when she's finally taking a break to do it. You know, those are the kinds of things. We need access to mental health, telehealth for our kids. Right now, this is traumatic, and it always has been. When Kaepernick kneeled silently on the football field, there were so many people who said he was disrespectful, that he was disruptive, so much criticism. People were silent as his career was destroyed. That happens every day in Black America. Amy Cooper at Central Park, using her privilege to call the police on the black man, the number of white people who are using the police against us for no reason, all this silence, it is deadly. It's not even like silence is sad, silence makes me feel bad. The silence is killing us. I mean, you can't change people's hearts. I don't want to try that anymore. I'm not interested in changing anybody's heart. I want to change behavior. I want my kids to be safe. I want to feel safe. And I think good police officers deserve to feel safe. But the challenge is, if every protest, if every time people rise up in some way, your response is to push them down, to tell them to stay, fit into this box, do it this way, don't kneel, not during the anthem, don't sit, don't kneel, don't stand, don't raise your fist. You push it down so much that it explodes. And what we have here is a miniature explosion. This is not an explosion. Let's be clear about that. This is a miniature explosion. This is an example What we have suffered so far is an example of what could happen. What kind of country gives us Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, and then George Floyd? What would he have been if there were no video? Resisting, disrespectful, couldn't be controlled. We did what we had to do. Luckily, there's a video. Now we've got all these videos, and that's just some of them, because in my heart right now, I'm 48 years old, I'm thinking about Rodney King and that video, and how those officers had no consequences, and over my lifetime, never consequences. So we've seen it all. What are we willing to do? And what are we willing to address in our communities to change it? Are we willing to change root cause issues? Listen to the helicopters. And this is miniature compared to what it could be. Louisville has got to step up.